Well, we didn't know about the state revenue.
Right, I know.
So we had a budget that was passed, not knowing at that time what our level of state aid would be. So we had planned what we would do if it was decreased by 25%. Like if we got none, what would we have to do? What would we have to cut, basically, to get to that zero increase? Because last year, zero was the goal.
Right.
We have so many, most of the council is new, and as we go through this planning process, the schools have so many unknowns. Our military population increased dramatically this year. And when it increases at the elementary level, our class sizes are such that we can absorb those children without any major impact, unless they're coming in with special needs that we're not anticipating, which many of them do. Some of them, come in with an individual education plan requiring that we hire a one-on-one assistant for them that we haven't budgeted for. We have to do that at the last minute. But the bigger surprise this year was the number of new high school students. So, and every one of them is a tuition to North Kingstown High School. And we budget for the kids that we know. So we're looking at our 8th grade and we're determining that's how many kids we're anticipating going. And we've been using trends with military that proved entirely inadequate this year for the actual number that came. It doubled.
We went from 50-some kids, 51 or 52.
Yeah, we have about 100 military kids this year.
25 are at the high school, so that's costing the town $250,000.
Minimum, because
Yeah.
some of those students have special needs, and that significantly ups the tuition to meet those needs.
And even at the elementary level, you can absorb them sometimes, but sometimes they'll push it. You plan to have 2 classrooms, and then if it pushes one too big,
Yeah, that did happen to us once.
Grade levels
That happened to us once, that we got 8 in a grade level right at the last minute, and we had to add a teacher.
Now, does the military kick in anything for over and above? I know there was some discussion about VABs, the impact of the military families on Jamestown. Is there any,
we began applying for Impact Aid, it's called.
Yeah.
And basically, for all of these kids, last year we got $11,000. That's about, a little over 1 NK tuition. This year we got word that they're going to be sending us some additional money, but reading what it says, it doesn't sound like we shouldn't be getting it, so we're a little bit leery about that.
This is subject to having send it 20 or 30 hours.
Right.
Yes.
Necessary to get this.
But it was money, so we're not going to not go after it. And
whether it comes to fruition, the Navy has implemented, the military has implemented a liaison person in which that educational liaison. So this woman will be working with the schools and hopefully be that faceless voice you talk to on the other end of the answering machine in Washington. When you're making these applications and stuff. Hopefully, this person will be able to expedite that. And we just were blunt at the meeting, saying, "Okay, $11,000. What can you do for us?"
Let me ask you this: I'm going to Jeffrey's office, Friday the 15th, to talk to him on 3 issues. I mean, this seems an issue that should be brought up with him.
we have all the information in Congressman Kennedy's office now, and he has told us that he will investigate. But it's federal legislation. And every year there's a sum of money that goes in nationally, and then there's a formula by which it gets distributed.
So you want me to bring it up?
Oh, you can bring it up. The
Well, the base isn't in Jamestown too. That's another issue. There's a greater part of the formula is if your town or city has the base in it, we don't.
Well, and they don't consider Newport County. I mean, okay, so there's an anomaly.
It's taxable,
right? But the major problem is that the law does not take into consideration districts that don't have their own house tax. There should be some sort of, because any other district can absorb the students unless they have enrollment, high enrollment. They can absorb at no cost, literally no cost, or little cost. But if you don't have a school and have to tuition the kids, it's cost to your taxpayers. That's the situation we're in.
and we don't know about those kids until August.
Believe me, we have been working on this for a couple of years
Yeah, it's
without any
Didn't they do that though back 15 years ago?
Do what?
The school, wasn't the school, or maybe 18 years ago? Because I can remember when Jeremy was going to school in the district, every year, because I'm retired military, I filled out a form.
Right.
Were they collecting before and then they stopped?
Maybe.
We stopped?
Maybe, we didn't know where they were collecting before.
Yeah, I don't know where they were collecting, I know they were gathering the information. But
They may have determined that it was too much work for the amount of money.
Well, yeah, it sounds like it.
It may have been more in North Kingstown when Quonset was more active too. They may have been pursuing it.
Might have
Was it
been. I'm
North
not sure
Kingstown
what it
that was
was. I just-
pursuing the impact aid? That's what I'm
I know
wondering.
they brought it home, I know Jeremy brought it home.
From high school or from
No, it
our
was
school?
before that, it
Was
was
it?
from your school, I think,
Not
yeah.
so much.
Yeah, it was before you went to the high school.
Okay.
Should we take a 5-minute break to just get our pizza, but then we can start working again once we're eating our pizza? How's that?